Thank you for the families who came here this evening to remember their loved ones whose lives were cut short by violence. Lord God, this ground is made sacred by their memories. We may bury their bodies, but never their spirits. We may bury their hands, but not their good works. We may bury their hearts, but never, ever bury their love. This evening, may we comfort one another, and in the coming days and years, may we find strength from this night to fight the violence that has taken our loved ones' lives. And let everyone say together, Amen.
Welcome, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I want to welcome everybody, family, friends, guest speakers, and anybody else. All right, we are here to have this program in memory of our loved ones in our garden of love, I call it. Everybody has worked hard, and we want you to enjoy this night. This is a group we really don't want to be in, but we're all here to support one another. So everybody just hang tight, and we will get this program started due to our lovely weather here. So we're going to have some guest speakers here tonight. First, we will have our DA, Copeland. Would you like to come up and say a couple words for us, please?
Thank you.
So about a quarter century ago, I was a brand new prosecutor in the DA's office. I was new to the justice system. I was assigned a case, and it was the homicide case of a gentleman by the name of Gregory Jones. Gregory was a man from Chester who got into an argument on the street and was shot 3 times in the back. He died shortly thereafter. I can tell you right now, prosecutors will always remember their homicide cases, particularly the first one. And Gregory's was mine. Here's what I recall. How very little I knew about him. I knew every aspect and every detail of his death, but nothing of his life. Because for reasons I couldn't understand, his family wouldn't come forward. At trial, I'd stitched together a fragmented tale without all the personality or all the stories that might have made him and the minds of the jurors and given life and resonance. And when the jury returned a guilty verdict, it somehow just wasn't as satisfying as I'd imagined, because I didn't know who I was fighting for. Gregory's future was cut short, and his past for me was a mystery, but in between those two, 25 years spun forward. In my mind, he's always been suspended in that hollow of time, a silhouette that was never filled in. We move forward through the worst chapters of our lives by telling our stories, by sharing our grief, by sharing our painful experiences, and by being known and coming together at events such as this by getting to know one another. They say justice is blind, but for me, as a district attorney, it's very personal. It isn't true of only the victims I fight for. I can remember exactly where family members sit in pews. I remember their faces at key points in the middle of trial. And I remember the hugs afterwards, which are like vice grips. You form emotional bonds with people, and months or years later, when I bump into them at a Wawa, and they share news of their graduation, of family members, their engagements and promotions, it's deeply touching, because the details of their ongoing lives are threaded through the pinhole of loss that we once shared. In this darkness of tonight, amongst all the beautiful memories that we have, amongst these incredible people who put together such an incredible ceremony, and amongst you who've lost family, who've lost friends. We share those notes of grief together. And I somehow think that the heavens above cleared the air, stopped the rain, and allowed us to gather here in this moment. Recognizing that whether or not cases are solved, recognizing that loss, no matter what, binds us together. I am eternally grateful for your presence because it shows that no matter when, no matter how many years pass, we will come together to share that with one another. And most importantly, whether it be daylight or darkness, the light will come through. So for that, I'm forever thankful. I'm thankful that we have people like Parents of Murdered Children who stand together with our office. I'm thankful that we have Women Against Rape and their services who will stand always by our victim's side. I'm thankful forever for the police officers, our law enforcement, who continue to do justice to help us and to help us keep our communities safe. So, I can only say, and close with this, that tonight is darkness, under the cover of darkness, we have light. And that light hopefully will shine in each one of our hearts, remembering the loved ones that everybody has lost. Thank you.
All right, now we're going to do what we call is candles and roses. Would the advocates please come up so they can participate in our event here?
This is 4 candles. As we light these 4 candles in honor of you, we light one for our grief, one for our courage, and one for our memories, and one for our love. This first candle represents our grief. The pain of losing you is intense. It reminds us of the depth of our love for you. The second candle represents our courage to comfort our sorrow, to comfort each other, and to change our lives. The third candle is lighted in your memory. The times we laughed, the times we cried, the times we were angry with each other, the silly things you did, the caring and joy you gave us. The fourth candle is the light of love. As we enter the spiritual new year, day by day we cherish the special place in our hearts that will always be reserved for you. We thank you for the gift your loving brought to each of us, and we love you.
All right, now I would like to acknowledge some people that helped us out this year. We would like to thank the Upper Chichester Commissioners, Father Large, the Lehman Boy Scout Troop 339, the DA, crime victim advocates, our founders, which I will read their names. We have Barbara DeMario, Leslie Lane, James and Darlene Brenner, and D.B. Maselli. And We also are going to give some awards out to the people that helped us this year. So if you're in the audience and I call your name or your organization, would you please come up and accept our awards? Well, there were a couple of companies that helped us out this year, and unfortunately they couldn't make it, so we did deliver to the organizations. We had Lobes from Brookhaven. We also had Home Depot from Ridley Park. We also had Walmart from Glen Olden and also Booth Wynn. We would like to give these awards out to the people that possibly are here. Steve Berard gave us an American flag, but he is not here, so his will be delivered. Somebody representing UPS, would they please come on up to accept the award, please? UPS helped us one day spread all the black mulch throughout everybody's garden this year, so we would like to give that thank you award to UPS for helping. And they will be again next year to help us out. So they're very helpful. Some of the people came from their jobs, and then when they left, they were going to their jobs. So they were very, very helpful to us. All right, I'm looking for Jack Beerling. Is he here?
No. No, Gwen.
No. All right, community service. Would you please come up and accept this award? Community service was down here practically every weekend with us. Without them, this garden wouldn't look the way it looks today. They were very helpful, and we're very grateful for them to help us out. So we thank you very much for your services and the people that helped us out. Is there anybody out there that was at the garden that helped us this year? I just want to say thank you again.
Thanks, Gwen.
Okay, now, these folks couldn't be here today, so I just want to mention them to let you know that these are the other folks that helped us out this year. We had the mayor of Upper Darby. He was my best friend. He got me all these wood chips. Also, along with Jack Burling. I was probably the biggest pain in the you-know-what. But they got our wood chips for it, so we can't thank them enough. Also, the Upper Darby Highway Patrol came one day. They gave me 2 trucks loads. They said, Gwen, you want 2 more? I said, yeah, I'll take whatever you want. So I can't thank them enough. Other than that, it was just a good year. We wanted to see if people next year would just come out and join us to help tidy up their gardens, because we do have fun out here, believe it or not. And it's a fun day, so if anybody wants to come out next year, please feel free. Okay. Well, what we usually do is we do every weekend. We start in the spring because we don't know what the winter's going to be. So what we do is we try, community service usually does the wood chips, and they'll help you out with it, whatever you want. All you have to do is ask them. And they're a great bunch of people, and then what we do is we schedule different mandatory times as it does come closer to the ceremony, because we want it to look good so everybody can enjoy the garden. But you can always call me and say, hey Gwen, are we going to do the garden? And if anybody wants a garden that doesn't have one, feel free to call me. We'll set up, we'll look for a garden, get you the garden. And what I suggest is everybody brings their friends and their family, because this is a way of them also getting and feeling that it heals them also. Alrighty, so that's that. Just bear with me. Okay, now, I know there's a judge, and I can't remember her name. Is she out in the audience? She's supposed to be a speaker. I'm sorry I forgot your
Judge
name.
Holefelder.
I'm not blaming it on the weather. The rain did it to me. Take your time, don't fall. We have no insurance. so don't even try and sue us. I couldn't see your name. I was like, I know where we've met before. How are you?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So we all know Barb, and Barb called me the other day from Michigan, and she's like, you have to get down there, and I need your help. And I said, okay, we'll be there, and we're going to meet next week. And having the privilege of being here when the garden wasn't even a garden yet, and helping Barb, you know, everything come to volition, and now we're going to get together and we're going to rebuild some things and get some more sponsors together. And she wanted me to come and remind myself as to why we're all here. So for myself and everyone else, Parents of Murdered Children is an organization for families and friends of those whose loved ones who have been lost by violence. I grew up in Aston Township, about a mile down the road. My childhood neighbor and friend, Todd Manga, a young man who was murdered at 23 years old on August 4th, 1995, when I was 27 years old. Through my tears while I was watching the morning news, I couldn't believe what I was seeing and hearing on the television. Todd, being 4.5 years younger than me, he was like a little brother. I used to babysit Todd. We were all just the kids on Braco Lane. Upon hearing the news, my first immediate image was of Todd walking down our street, getting off the school bus every day, with his short, dark, disheveled hair, with a calic in the front, in his St. Joe's Catholic School uniform, his tie half undone, hanging to the side, with his first 2 top buttons undone on his shirt, 1 shoelace untied, his backpack slung over his shoulder, bouncing home to get changed into his play clothes to play outside. Todd loved to play baseball and street hockey, and he always wanted to be a police officer. He was such a cute kid. A well-mannered boy, and that has a family that still loves him today. Todd was raised to obey the law, respect and help others. He was working part-time as a security officer, waiting to get hired as a police officer when he was killed. You see, it's easy to find out how Todd was murdered. All you have to do is Google it. Taken from us much too soon by violence. But that's not what tonight or the Living Memorial Garden is about. The garden has no place for hate, fear, or violence. I come here to remember the little boy that would get off the school bus every day, with a bounce in his step, love in his heart, excited to see his family and play with his friends. The garden is a space to breathe, to pause, to rest our minds, to unify in peace. A place to walk together over the creek with the waters that heal and rejuvenate our spirit. Trees that help us maintain our daily survival by providing strength and shelter from the outside world. The benches that provide much needed rest for our weary bodies and minds. And each garden, each life, provides us the breath to go on another day in peaceful healing, love, and remembrance. I remember, and my wish is that everyone present tonight carry with them the peace of mind and soul that this garden was designed to provide. Thank you.
All right, I have a story I'm going to tell you here. This is my friend Lisa. Come on over here. I'm a professional beggar, okay, for this garden. One day I was in Home Depot in Ridley Park, and I met this nice lady, Lisa. And we talked, and she said she wanted to do a butterfly garden for her. Well, I said, why not? We don't have one of them. Then she told me she raises butterflies. So when I said, she said, could I come to the garden on the night of the ceremony and release them? Well, I'm not going to take no for an answer. So Lisa's here to release butterflies, and we're going to have her daughter, Joy, read a poem while she releases the butterflies. So, Joy, I'm going to turn the microphone over to you. Lisa, you do your thing.
Butterfly Kisses by John F. Connor. Don't cry for me, please don't be sad. Hold on to the memories of the times we both had. Don't dwell on dark thoughts, hold on tight to your wishes, sending you hugs and butterfly kisses. I walk beside you, I am there all day long. I am right here, but you think I am gone. You don't see me, but I can see you. Whatever the problems, I will help you get through. I am the wind in your hair, the sand in your toes. I am with you at sunrise and in sunset. But you can't see me is my one regret. I sit right beside you when you are sad, as you look through the photos of the times we both had. I watch you sleeping, I hold you so tight. Before I go, I kiss you goodnight. I will watch over you from heaven above. Forever you will be my one true love. Hold on to your dreams and all your wishes, sending you hugs and butterfly kisses.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
If you don't mind, then I'll say a few words.
The Native Americans firmly believe that the monarch, if whispered a message, will fly high up to the heavens and send that message to your loved one. I am a monarch conservationist. At heart, I am their advocate. It's very unconventional to let them go in the dark because they thrive in sunlight. But I thought for this special event, I wanted to share with Gwen and bring some joy because this place is very special. And I wanted to share that with her. So today, I have 14 monarchs in here. And for me, I've raised over 400 butterflies this season. So these monarchs are number 402 to 417. And these are special monarchs. These are actually migrators. All monarchs born in the month of September actually migrate to Mexico. So they will start their journey right from here. And they'll fly up high and find those airstreams. And they'll all go to the mountains of Mexico. So I wanted to share that with you. If you want to bring up the little ones.
Yeah, I have. There's one that landed on my face.
Do you want to see them?
Very cute. You want to pet them? Nice.
They usually fly right away, but because it's dark,
He liked me.
they're little nuggets.
Probably because I was sitting under the light.
They'll do fine though.
Yeah. You want to pet him? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Careful, gentle.
Oh.
You want to see them?
They are so beautiful.
Are they pretty?
Thank you.
I have no more.
I'm like obsessed with butterflies.
Are you?
Yes, I
Have a
think
butterfly flush your town?
no, but I just think they're the most beautiful
You
creatures
need
in
to
the
try
world.
one of them. I have.
Paul, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, we're going to have a poem read by Paula Brown of Community Service.
You hold it.
Good evening, everyone. This garden, not only do we help to beautify it with community service, but it has a special meaning for me because I've been with POMC since the beginning. And I've referred many parents in Darby to here to get the support. And it's just, the people here are absolutely amazing. They don't, it's not that they want to be here, but no one helps the victims more than the members of POMC. Right there in that garden is Denise Richardson. I used to babysit her when she was a kid. And when she grew up, she turned around, she babysitted my kids. There are so many people here. I know over 20 of the victims and their families. Deanna Wright McIntosh from Yaden, who was 15 years old. And just like Kat said, you don't forget them. One of my best friends from school in BVM, her daughter and her daughter's baby, Lindsay Cassidy and Colby, were strangled in Chester. And it's just, so for them and for every one of you here, I'd like to read a poem that says, "That day I had to leave you when my life on earth was through, God picked me up and hugged me and said, I have big plans for you. To you, my dearest family, some things I'd like to say, but first of all, to let you know that I arrived okay. I'm writing this from heaven where I dwell with God above, where there's no more tears or sadness, there is just eternal love. Please do not be unhappy just because I'm out of sight. Remember that I'm with you every morning, noon, and night. And when you think of my life on earth and all those loving years, because you're only human, they are bound to bring you tears. But do not be afraid to cry, it does relieve the pain. Remember, there would be no flowers unless there was some rain. There are rocky roads ahead of you and many hills to climb, but together we can do it, taking one day at a time. And when you're walking down the street and you've got me on your mind, I'm walking in your footsteps, only half a step behind. And when you feel the gentle breeze or the wind upon your face, that's me giving you a great big hug or just a soft embrace. And when it's time for you to go to the body to be free, you're not going here, you are coming here to me. And I will always love you from that land way up above. We'll be in touch again soon. P.S. God sends his love.
Remember I told you we have no insurance.
There you go.
They're testing me, aren't you, today?
Yes.
Here, Paula.
Sorry.
All right. So what we want to do now is